Good evening and warm welcome to another edition of the North Bank Summit. After 80 minutes, the world was about to end. The Arteta outers were out in false, and then popped up Marino, and then a Gabriel header in the 96th minute, and we're back in business. So before we get talking about obviously Sunday's game and look ahead to Wednesday and Saturday, let's give a warm welcome to my four lovely guests, and first to my co-host, Mr. Brooks. How you doing, mate?
I am absolutely bouncing, mate. Yeah, great weekend, great sporting feast. England women winning trophies, European golfers doing their thing, Crystal Palace and Eddie Nketiah doing his thing, Arsenal doing their thing. Fantastic. Yeah, really good.
There's a bit of a swagger to you as you said that, all that.
Yeah, I'm really in a good mood. My wife's weekend just gone. We've had a lovely weekend for her birthday. So I'm
Good
really
man, good man. And a warm welcome to my other co-host, Mr. Mockler himself. How you doing, Andy?
Yes, tip top, mate. Absolutely buzzing from yesterday. And as Brooksy said, there's been some great results over the weekend that have helped, including Ryder Cup. Middlesbrough didn't get beat at Southampton, so their unbeaten start keeps going. So it's just a win-win all weekend.
Yeah, it looks like everything's good in the world. Everything is good. I'm going to go to Mr. George
perfect.
himself, who was on the watch along with me yesterday, to see how that unfold. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Sweet as a nut, like you say. Great result. Few people got humbled over the weekend, including the American golfers. So it was nice.
Good man. And a warm welcome to Mr. Jones himself. How you doing, mate? It looks like you're back on the mend now.
Yep, feeling a lot better, back in the swing of things. Yeah, just echo what everyone says. The angel Gabriel provided this weekend. I've turned to religion.
He absolutely did. Just going to do some good evenings in the chat. Good evening to Greg. How you doing, mate? Good to see you on. Good evening to Catherine. She was on with us last night as well. Good evening. And well done on your clock win yesterday. Congratulations. Good evening to Jeanette. Good to see you on. We've got a character ready for you for this week, Jeanette. Sadly, you didn't join us last week, so coming Thursday and all will be revealed. Good evening to Mr. Barwick. Hope you're doing well, Luke. Here he is, the old Detroit boy himself. Oh, Ryan. Good evening, Ryan. How you doing, mate? Pete Cheese in the house. Yeah, everyone. Well, I say everyone. We've got quite a few good people in at the moment, but let's go and obviously look at the weekend. And what I want to do first is not obviously discuss the Arsenal game, but looking back to Saturday. There was a great opportunity, weren't there, for Liverpool to go kind of 6 points clear. A game at Crystal Palace, which actually was the two teams that have been left unbeaten in the Premier League this year at Selhurst Park. I'm going to go over to you first, Andy. Crystal Palace absolutely annihilated them in the first half, and the game should have been dead and buried by that point, shouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And it's pretty clear that Palace have kind of got Liverpool's card, really. I've just seen some stats before, and I think Palace have gone unbeaten in 18 or something, and 3 of them games have been against Liverpool. So it just goes to show that there's obviously a system that Palace play that Liverpool just struggle against. That said, I think we were all kind of buzzing with the fact that they took the lead, and then late on Liverpool get the goal, and you think there they go again, getting a late equaliser or whatever, and then up pops our Eddie, and it was a phenomenal result. And Palace, he's done such a good job, that manager, and he's lost Eze, so it's he's doing a hell of a job, and definitely got Liverpool's cards, Mark.
Yeah, they definitely have. It's quite interesting to say that, isn't it, that they've obviously lost Eze. Mark Gray was supposed to go to Liverpool, wasn't he, in the summer, which obviously fell through in the last moment. But it's an interesting one, isn't it, with them? Because they're on the crest of a wave at the moment. And you start to think, don't you, really? Like they're probably one of the teams this year that you do look upon as actually can upset the apple cart. They've already got a draw at Chelsea as well. So I think they've shown their credentials already this season, haven't they? Like you said, they played Liverpool twice and obviously won both games, barring a penalty shootout on one of them. They've drawn against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And let's be honest, they were robbed of the 3 points. That is a free kick. Are they someone who can potentially, I don't know, can they, I'm not saying they'll finish in Champions League spaces, but are they someone that can upset the apple cart and determine where the title race goes this year?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think kind of deep down, I hope they do as well, because they were robbed of that place in the Europa this year for some great. I mean, it's just yeah. Anyway, so they've lost out on that, which was horrendous for them. But they continue on. It'd be an interesting one with Mark Gay, isn't it? Because with them starting the season so well and going from last season to now 18, 19 games unbeaten, does he still want to go to Liverpool, or is it now? Does it now cross his mind? Actually, I need to be staying here because we're on the crest of something that's pretty special. So it's pretty exciting times for Palace fans, I think, at the moment, and they're definitely going to be the team that you will be looking for when the likes of City and Liverpool again later in the season, that they're going to upset a few of the big boys without a shadow of a doubt, and we'll have to be on our guard when we go there as well.
Definitely. We got a game against them, haven't we, at the end of October, so that'd be an interesting one. But barring it being at the Emirates, but I don't think it matters really whether you play them home or away. I think they'll give you a good game. Just going to go over to you, John. Obviously, what could have been a defining point was in the 87th minute when obviously Mo Salah allegedly, well, I thought it was more than allegedly, handled the ball. Nothing was given, and they were given an equaliser. What was your thought of that moment?
It was before 9 o'clock, so I don't know if you really want me to say how I really feel. But, I mean, he handballed it clear as day. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. Well, we've seen it over the whole weekend, not just our game, but even the Fulham game. And it's just a complete shit show still. It's just, it's just so inconsistent. And it's just, they got away with another one, let's be honest. And hence why we had the whole debacle yesterday with the penalty incident. It's just, I've never known anything like it. The last few years, they just seem to be favouring one team, that Liverpool just seem to get away with it time and time again. It's clearly at his hand. I mean, whether we meant it or not, it's still handball. I mean, I think we all thought that Gabriel was going to get done yesterday. They've got to sort this out. Because the handball rule recently has been a bit of a shit show. People have their hands out the way and they'll give a penalty. I don't know how on earth they got away with that Saturday. I mean, it goes to VAR. I mean, very, very lucky. And God bless Eddie for saving the day, because, they got away with another one.
Yeah, they did. And I guess the problem is now, isn't it? Like, are these decisions, and I'm going to go over to you on this one, Jonesy, are these decisions now that are being awarded on a Saturday having massive influence on Sunday games? Like, we look at the Aston Villa game yesterday. For me, that should be a penalty. Like, the ball's going in the back of the net. Whether he's intentionally done it or not, for me, there's no, he stopped a goal with his hand. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand how that wasn't a penalty whatsoever. But then we see, obviously, what happens in the Arsenal game, which we'll go into a little bit later. But do you believe that these decisions now that are being made on Saturdays are then having influences on the games on Sunday and Mondays?
Yeah, I really think they do, because referees are looking at it and thinking, look, he didn't give it. So what if I give it? It's going to be ridiculed on, you've got Slaphead on Sky Sports News. Sorry for us baldies. Dermot Gallagher chatting shit about penalties and decisions. I think referees are getting to the point now where they're scared to give. If someone hasn't done it on a Saturday, the Sunday and Monday refs are actually thinking, well, if I give that, it's going to make my mate look bad. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's having that knock-on impact towards referees' mentalities at the moment, which is wrong. It should be, there needs to be a consistency somewhere along the lines where, if it's given in that game, it should be given in the following game. It should be, or if it hasn't been given on the Saturday's game, give it on the Sunday if it's the correct decision. Stop worrying about if your mate didn't do it. Focus on what you've got to do as a referee in the game. But it's hampering games. Like I say, there's so many decisions this weekend. We could talk all night about just the PGMOL, but obviously we don't want to get the channel banned. It's before 9 o'clock, but it's just some of the decisions are just absolutely dreadful. I just don't know how they get. If me and Brooksy or anybody else who's got a job make these mistakes in our workplace, we're getting sacked or we're getting put on report. It's mind blowing how these guys can keep getting away with making these decisions.
Just what I say, the best will last. It goes to George. We'll talk about Eddie and 96 minutes gone past the clock. One last throw in. A launch into the box. That's a big goal, isn't it? Firstly, firstly for Eddie Nketiah, who's been on the fringes of things and has just come back from injury. But also, it was a big goal for us, wasn't it?
I've always rated Eddie, mate.
Tell the train assistant that, mate.
Yeah. We had to talk to his auntie now. No, honestly, it's a massive goal for him. And I just think, like, I think we were chatting briefly on the watch-along yesterday. He scored some big goals, obviously, obviously the winner against Man United. Then obviously the goal against Liverpool. When was it? Saturday. So yeah, obviously it helped us massively. I think that it kind of put, I don't know, you might agree or might not, it kind of put a little bit of pressure on us because we had to get a win, whatever happened after. I know we needed to win anyway, but I think we more needed to win. So, yeah, happy for Eddie. Obviously, he's found he's in that rotational spot with Mateta, and coming back from injury. So, yeah, I think good luck to him. And I honestly, I hope Palace do break into the top four. And because I think they deserve it. And what my thing is, we didn't think Nottingham Forest would have done that last season, did we?
No.
But the difference is with Palace, I don't know if they'll fall or slip or have the shenanigans what Forest have got. So there's a high chance that I think Palace could break into that Champions League spot.
Well, I think it's quite an interesting conversation, that, because I think the only thing that kind of deters me away from thinking about it is because actually teams like Forest and when Leicester done it weren't in Europe, were they? Where actually Crystal Palace are in Europe and could go quite far. And I'm not sure they strengthen their squad enough if they get a couple of injuries. I guess would be my only concern.
That's my only worry.
Yeah. Well, and obviously, look, coming out of that game, John, and then going into Sunday, obviously George said it put a lot of pressure on us that we had to win. I think it was obviously a must-win game anyway, but I think that anything less than a win would have been seen as I don't want to say a travesty, but I think it would have been another sticky label on Arteta's reign.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, especially our record up there recently, it hasn't been the best. So yeah, I mean, as I said last week, I said we just got to keep winning. It sounds silly. I mean, even Sarah was saying yesterday, they're talking about, oh well, the title race, isn't that? It's only been 5-6 games. It's absolutely crazy when you think about it. Considering the season finishes in May, and everyone's going, "Oh, season could be over already." Everyone needs to calm down a little bit. I mean, Liverpool have proved this season they haven't been any good. They only beat us because of that wonder free kick, and we didn't really play to our best. They have been getting away with it quite a lot. All the last goals, Newcastle, Bournemouth, they haven't been that good. Salah has been dreadful this season. Isak hasn't done anything yet. Wirtz has done nothing. So, yeah.
What a waste of money he is.
Well, yes. I mean, that's gone well under the radar because they keep winning.
Arsenal's back five have been involved in more goal involvements than throwing.
Pressure was on us every game, but yeah, it was a massive game, Liam, and it was turned out to be a massive result. But yeah, could be a good springboard, hopefully.
And going into the team news, Andy. Eze got that position in the more advanced number 10 role. Obviously, Trossard started out on the left once again. I thought the only surprise was obviously Saliba, who'd obviously played the last two games. And I'm still trying to get my head around that, to be honest, unless there was a little niggle. Why wouldn't he have started him in such a big
then why
game?
would he be on the bench?
It's a strange one.
Yeah. It's a strange one. Yeah, really strange one. And you could see when he came on, second half, he didn't look his normal self. He was a bit rusty, certainly at the start. He was slipping a bit. And in fact, just after he came on, he got involved in a situation in the box and he was all over the place, which is very un-Saliba-like. So I'm not sure what's gone on there because he seemed to be moving fine in the last couple of games, but obviously we don't know what it's like after the match or might have got a knock in training or whatever. I suppose, and then we were all kind of, oh, that's all right because we've seen Mosquera. He seems really well settled and he comes. And he didn't have the best of games yesterday, which is probably why he got the drag at half time. Ultimately their goal came from a back pass, which was he didn't even look. It was just it's kind of schoolboy error stuff that, and his passing was a bit slack as well. But it was. That was a big surprise, definitely. But I was also really, really happy to see Eze in there because I really thought Marino was going to get the nod. Just for his physicality. And I know when we went to Newcastle before, we've been bullied. And I just thought that maybe he might err on the side of caution, which is what he generally does. But actually, he surprised us all. And hopefully now we can see that that's, without a shadow of a doubt, the way forward now.
Yeah, it was like I guess I was happy in terms of that Eze was playing that role. I'll be honest, I was hoping Martinelli would probably play on the left hand side.
There was a lot of people.
But looking back as well, like with Trossard, like into the game, he had a golden opportunity, didn't he, Jonesy? When Declan Rice put him through. 9 times out of 10, you expect him to score that, don't you?
Mm.
Do you see him as a starter for this team, or do you think he's solely an impact player?
You know what? I wasn't that worried with Trossard yesterday. I thought he was all right, to be honest. I don't know if you guys agree, sort of thing, but
yeah, I agree.
I actually thought he'd done
No.
I didn't think right. No, I thought he did all right. No.
I actually thought he did a good job. He had a good chance. Obviously, he hit the post. He linked up quite well down on that left-hand side with Eze and Calafiori at times. He brings us something different, doesn't he? He's not direct at all. He does slow it down. That's the only concern I do have with him. But he is. If you picked anyone in that team to come on or to start and get a goal or who could finish, it's Trossard. He is one of the best finishers we got at the club, and I know that's it's a tongue-in-cheek thing to say, but he can score goals, and he scored important goals. He scored against Bayern Munich, and he scored other important goals when we needed him. Chelsea, a couple of to get us a draw, I think was the last second. But obviously, it's different in it. Martinelli, I think, deserved to start, but I can totally understand why he went with Trossard yesterday.
Do you know what? On that though, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because personally, I mean, I wasn't fussed whether it was Martinelli or Trossard. And like Jonesy, I was all right with Trossard. But interestingly, I was sat with my son watching the match and genuinely believe that Martinelli and Trossard are best used for us as impact substitutes. I think when Madueke's fit, that might well be our option. I think he might, even though he's left-footed on the left side, I think Saka Madueke might be our way forward. I think Madueke can sustain himself throughout the games more. He can be dangerous for longer periods than the other guys. And I just think every time they come on as substitutes, they do have an impact. It doesn't always have to be a goal. It could be a tackle. It could be a pass. But they've just got that desire and that something in them. I just don't think, for me, if we're going to go on and win the league, that they will be starting. I don't know what you guys think, but
I've got
that position there is the one that we could definitely upgrade on. And I think Madueke is the answer.
See, I'm a bit of first out. I think he's going to play Eze out there. I think there's good rotation though, isn't there? In terms of Madueke can play on the left, he can play on the right. I did notice a lot in that game yesterday as well that actually even Saka and Trossard were inverting into the 10 role as well.
Yeah,
which I found. Which I found quite interesting, and I did quite kind of like it.
Really good.
It was something different, wasn't it? It was something different, and I actually think, for the first 35 minutes, it's the best we played for a long, long time. Like, it's our best away performance since we battered West Ham at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could have easily been on a different day, right? That scoreline could have been 3-4-0 after 35 minutes.
We played some nice football.
Yeah,
that Trossard chance, that was a wonderful team move. Beautiful flying football at our best.
So the question is, George, why do we not see this beautiful, flowing moves that we see yesterday? Because as me and you on air, first 35 minutes we absolutely battered them, didn't we? It was a goal against the run of play. It kind of took me back a little bit, if I'm being totally honest, you guys, to the Wenger days. That kind of goal that we conceded. But we literally destroyed them the first 35 minutes. So Why can we do it against Newcastle and line up like this, but then we go and play Man City at home and play a defensive kind of midfield?
I don't know. It comes across quite frustrating, like because I honestly think if we played like that against Man City, we would have battered them, especially in that first half. How we played then. I think you can go into the game like we were saying on the watch-along. Arteta is susceptible to criticism and susceptible to the view that we've been playing with a handbrake on. I don't think you could say that about him yesterday. If you're playing with a handbrake on, then you see Mikel Merino in that number 10 role again. But yeah, I honestly, Liam, I don't know. I don't know. There's been a lot of chat about it. I don't know. Has he finally thought, oh, do you know what? Playing the control in the whole and dominating the game and trying to nick a goal to win against Liverpool and Man City hasn't worked. I'd like to be hoping that that is the case. Because like you said, Liam, I think we should have probably been about 3 or 4-1 up in that first half, just generally.
Yeah, Nick Pope was outstanding.
Yeah, he made some very good saves.
I mean, what is it with goalkeepers and us? Every
Always
time we go up against another team, they have
I'm glad you didn't ask me about Trossard. So
It's quite ironic though, isn't it? Like we're talking about like Nick Pope, and actually, it was Nick Pope's calamity at the end, and I thought it was a big calamity. I think, like if I was his manager, I'd be absolutely fuming. If I'm being totally honest, like all he had to do was calm the game down, didn't he? And
he got excited.
Yeah, he's literally kicked the ball to our centre backs. Like that's literally what he's done. There's no one there. He's obviously, I don't know what's gone in through his head, but it was quite ironic, wasn't it? Really, that actually he went from being nearly sent off and conceding a penalty to having a worldie to then in my eyes costing Newcastle at least a point.
Yeah,
God bless the Pope.
Absolutely.
Pardon?
The thing was, going back to that kick though, Liam. I don't know whether you've seen the above view from when he made that kick. On another day, right? If he'd have struck that ball properly, Alanga was clean through. Our 3 deepest players were about 10 yards inside their half, and they ain't going to catch Alanga. No. So if he'd have got that kick right, now thank God he didn't. And if you were a manager, you'd be shooting because you'd be fuming because there was only one team going to win at that point. Newcastle needed to just group in, just grind it out, take the point, move on. But for whatever reason, he had a complete head loss at that point. But and as luck would have it, went straight to us, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and absolutely is. And obviously, we were rounding up the corners, weren't we, at the back end of the game? I'm going to go to you on this, John. This is where I think, I don't like the word starters and finishers, right? But I do agree with kind of what Arteta's saying. And this is where I see the likes of Martinelli, the likes of Trossard, the likes of Mikel Merino. Like, I think they're really strong players to finish a game. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think once Kai Havertz comes back as well, he's potentially, I'm not sure if he's going to be in that mould, but I think there's a good potential that he could be in that mould because actually it's either going to be him or Goldcrest. But when you start looking at what can come off that bench, I don't think there's anyone in the league that has the resource like we have the resource, and that has the players that can come off a bench and change games. And when I say that, we look at last week Martinelli, we look at Martinelli and Trossard in Europe, we look again yesterday Mikel Merino coming on. Like, he's getting his substitutions right at the right time, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you haven't even mentioned, I thought Lewis Skelly in a little 10-minute cameo.
Yeah.
I thought it was brilliant when he come on, Odegaard, again, that ball to find Lewis Skelly. I mean, that was superb. He whipped in the corner for the goal. Yeah, when Arian Dowman didn't even come on, it's brilliant. And Nkapé wasn't there, Jesus wasn't there, Havertz wasn't there. Yeah, the squad's the strongest it's ever been. Obviously, the 2 Chuckle brothers on Sky now going, they've got the best squad in the Premier League, this and that, putting the pressure on. But I think at the end of the day, I think we have. I really do. I mean, I think I don't know if Arteta's. I don't know if someone said something to him, but I think he's taken what people have been saying on board, and I think he has gone. You know what? I need to start being a bit more adventurous. And I have to say as well, our game management when we scored to make it 1-0, I thought was superb because we just kept getting the ball and driving forward. Whereas in the Man City game, I thought when we scored, we just didn't really know what to do. We kept getting away silly fouls and couldn't really get a grip on the game. Well, I thought yesterday, I thought we thoroughly deserved the win. Yeah. As soon as equaliser, they really showed what they were made of.
Is there potential, Jonesy, that actually looking at the fixture list that we've had, the first 6 games, like I guess I'm a little bit disgruntled in terms of we didn't beat City, but at the end of the day, we clutched away a draw out of the despair of a defeat. But when you look at it, we're 2 points behind Liverpool. After 6 games, we've already gone to Old Trafford, which is a big rivalry game for us anyway. It doesn't matter for me that they're absolutely tosh because actually they're always a rise to a situation against us. We've been to St James's, which is our bogey ground. We've been to Anfield, which we unfortunately lost by a wonder strike in the last 5 minutes. Is there a little bit that actually Mikel Arteta was thinking, let me get through these games and get out the other side, and then I'll start showing the full potential of what this team can do?
I think there is, to be honest. Because look, let's face it, this could have been a horrendous start for us this season. We could be sitting here, not even 8 points behind Liverpool. We could possibly be, 11 points. The loss against City could have happened and stuff like that, and lost yesterday. But we've had some difficult. I can't remember us having a tougher start to a season for a long, long time. And like you say, mate, we've only lost to Liverpool by a wonder strike. He's never scoring that goal ever again in his career. He's not Declan Rice. But do you know what I mean? We've gone, like you say, we've gone to St James's, we've gone to Anfield, we've faced United, and and these are all places where no matter what team's there, how shit United are, like you say, the occasion is always the occasion against United, against Liverpool, against now Newcastle, which has become a rivalry in itself. But you know what? We're sitting here now, only 2 points behind Liverpool. I'm buzzing. Now we've got a run of games. West Ham, we'll talk about, obviously, go on to that. But I'm expecting now, Arteta's like, boys, go for it. You've got the difficult games out of the way. Let's put some fucking space between us and these bloody scumbags and, put a marker down. Let them, I want them to chase us. Do you know what I mean? I want us to be in that position where we're being chased. And I think the next few games are crucial for us just to get out there and play, and to also make some fabulous performances, like starting against West Ham. I want us to smash them. West Ham should be smashed at the weekend. No questions asked. None of this new manager bounce shit. Fuck that shit off. This team, this squad is well equipped now to face any team in this league and to give them a hell of a game. We've proved it. We've definitely proved it already.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think that when you sit there and say regarding where we could have been, and when you look at some of them games and where we was, like especially Man City and Newcastle, like both games were staring down defeat after 80 odd minutes. It seemed like a really, really huge moment for me yesterday. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I had an emotional moment as well, because that game, it was as tough as a watch as I've watched for a long time, and it was because how well we had played, how they caught us on the run of play, but also it seemed like it was conspiring against us, didn't it? Like I dread to think here, right, what that press conference would have been like for Mikel Arteta if we'd lost that game 1-0. I think there could have been another fine coming his way, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah. But for me, it felt like a huge moment. It felt like a moment that actually that the players will believe, the team will believe. Andy, you'll know from playing in football, a moment like a game like this where you think everything's going against you, and then you find the resources in the last 10 minutes, not just to draw the game, but win the game at a ground that's been a nemesis for a couple of seasons now. What kind of belief does that give a team?
Oh, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. And that belief goes, it's amazing how we can transcend through not just your first teamers, but then you kind of the lads on the periphery, they realise that they've got to keep up in their games to get the opportunity. So everyone's standard raises because everyone's more confident, they're more buoyant, we're getting involved a little bit more. I think it's a massive result for us. I really do. And God, at one point, I was actually quite happy we're going to come away from there with a point. But the fact that they kept going and going and just weren't prepared to just sit down, it was just phenomenal. And I think more of the frustration lied because we'd actually played so well all game. Never heard Bruno mentioned hardly ever. Joe Linton normally bullies us right across the pitch. He couldn't get near the midfield at one point. So lessons have been learned without a shadow of a doubt. And if not for Nick Pope, it would have been probably a 3-4, maybe it's even a 5-1. But to get them points in the last deep into stoppage time, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And then the confidence that's going to breed going into the next games and going forward, yeah, it's massive. And if you look at our fixtures, we've now got, it's always difficult when you look at fixtures and go, well, we should be beating them. But the next 6 games, we should be winning them. If we've got aspirations to win the title, the next 6 games, it's a massive opportunity now on this crest of our little wave, is to start rolling over teams. And like you said, Jonesy, quite right. Everyone should be looking at us now. Because that result yesterday will definitely make people take notice even more. And more is getting said about the squad that we have. He's assembled a phenomenal squad. So, as we've said before, there's no excuses now. And I genuinely believe we're going to go on a little run now.
Yeah, I think the team's set up for it. To go back to you, George, on that last minute goal. I thought it was a big moment for Gabriel. I thought to say his game was very interesting is a bit of an understatement, isn't it, really? We're talking about a guy, right, that I think obviously got caught out last week against Man City a little bit in terms of the first goal. I thought there's no way he was going to get that goal disallowed yesterday. It was soft and it doesn't really bode in the greatest of light the way he went down, but he kept going on, didn't he? He could have got himself sent off. Luckily, he didn't connect any further than he did. He nearly got a penalty go against him, but then that moment right at the end that actually won the game. I don't really know what to make of Gabriel's game yesterday. I just think it was one of them games where a player has and he comes out as the hero of it all.
Yeah, I thought, like you say, it was kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde performance. It was like the good, the bad, and the ugly all rolled into one. So, but he comes up with massive goals, mate, doesn't he? Like I think he's like, I don't know. I think I've read some sort of stat that he scored at Newcastle, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. You know what I mean? So he's always there, like when he stands to be counted. The football games for 90 minutes, and he's obviously always there at the end. Yeah, I think he lost his head a bit with the German Peter Crouch, who like moaning after the game, but like, you know what I mean, like, but I think he got a bit rattled there, but obviously. They're allowed to do dentistry work, Newcastle, aren't they? Like to Gyökeres, but no one mentions that. But yeah, we call him the king of Brazil for a reason, mate. Like you can't always have a good 90 minutes, but at the end of the day, when you look down on the stats, Gabriel's the one who won us, and that I think I was saying to you and Jonesy yesterday, I'm putting it out there. I think that's season defining, that win yesterday. That reminded me of the Nelson against Bournemouth.
Yeah, it was a big moment, wasn't it? It was a big moment. I'm actually gutted. I had a ticket for Newcastle, but the train fares were over 200 quid. I wish I paid it now. But no, I don't know if I can sacrifice that at the moment. But do you know what? Right? I think looking ahead though, we got two interesting games coming up. So I think obviously Wednesday will be a good game in terms of trying to get a little bit more confidence out of players, maybe getting some more minutes in Saka. Yeah. It's a nice home game, and I think, as Andy said, when you look at our next 6 games, I think our 5 of the 6 are all at the Emirates. So it's not like we're travelling anywhere whatsoever. But we start with Olympiacos, which It's been a little bit of a tricky bogey game for us over the years. I remember then scoring late equaliser that knocked us out of the UEFA Cup.
Was that when
That was Unai Emery's fault, though. Yeah, that's the one, George.
Yeah, that's when I launched my headset from up a tier. And my dad said he saw these headphones just flying through the air.
Just
Like, with Austin, I remember I was like, "Oh fuck this," and actually launched the headset. So I'm probably lucky I didn't get banned out the Emirates. To be honest.
Don't like to correct you, Mr. Brooks. It was actually Arteta. That game.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Okay, now.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that was in Arteta's reign. That game.
Yeah, it didn't
Was
happen.
it?
Yeah, it was in Arteta's reign.
Oh, he's just as
But,
bad. Then.
yeah. Aubameyang probably deliberately missed that chance at the end.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Liam, about obviously before we move on, I do want to. I know Brooks, you saw my post about Odegaard. I don't think he's got as much praise as he really should, because I think a lot of people have gone in on Odegaard, which is rightly for his performances. But I think he helped change the game yesterday, and I don't think it's really been mentioned enough.
No,
what a
you're
difference as
correct.
well. The
You're
fact
correct.
that sorry, Liam, and what a difference seeing in Odegaard when you see him playing alongside another 10. What a difference! So he's alongside Eze. All of a sudden, he's got more people to play off. As you said earlier, Liam, the rotation from the wingers to coming from out wide to invert, overlapping runs. There was so much more to hit yesterday, and Odegaard just looked on it. Do you know when you can just tell by someone's body language?
Yeah.
He was just on it, and and Eze must love the fact that this option of these two playing off Gyökeres and others. By the way, just a little mention. Can I just say for Gyökeres?
I thought that's his best game. Yeah,
that's his
He
best
was
game for
superb.
us.
Yeah.
He gave him a good beasting. He was very good.
Because again, like their midfield, their centre backs can bully teams, but he was
They were
outstanding.
doing their best.
Yeah, and I thought his link up play was great. So I was dead chuffed for him.
He nearly lost his root canal, didn't he? Oh, Gyökeres.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Yeah, that's what makes me laugh. Andy,
You talk about Gabriel punching Walton at it, but what about that? He almost got his face ripped off.
and the Joe Linton on
nothing
Saka
said.
in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
he's
as soon
a
as that
fucking
happened, I was
cunt.
like, I said to Liam and Ryan, I went, "Well, we know what game this is going to be."
Just a shame he didn't get his penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stonewaller.
We're not mentioning that, but we haven't mentioned that yet, you know.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Let me
I'll
go
tell you
first.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Like, actually, before I go on to that, and I just want to mention about Odegaard. I think it's even interesting how much he looked better in himself yesterday. Like,
Yeah,
he looked fresh. Like, even down to having a haircut and just the way he was, mate. I know.
maybe that's what's done it.
I know it sounds stupid, but there just seemed to be like, I don't know. Like, we know he's had, obviously we mentioned it quite a lot of times. He's had a baby and all that, and like loads of things have happened in his life. He's had obviously injuries that have obviously harboured him as well. He just looked more like fresh and just more with it. I don't know. It's just an observation. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, I think the key was body language. The body language was totally different. Maybe him coming out of the team for a bit and just having a breather, do you know what I mean? Just nursing what he's nursing and being able to sort himself out. Maybe that might be a good thing for Odegaard long term, because if we can get the Odegaard back from 2022 to 2023,
We're laughing.
then I don't see us not winning the league, if I'm being totally honest. We could get that Odegaard back. I think that's a difference maker now, because there ain't no Kevin De Bruyne at Man City. Do you know what I mean? I think you're right. You said about Liverpool. I think they scraped along, but I can see them coming a cropper in quite a few games, if I'm being totally honest with you, if they keep playing what they're playing. But with Odegaard, if you can get him in form and get Eze doing what he was doing, because I thought, we hadn't even mentioned about Eze yesterday, really. I thought Eze was superb in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it's absolutely superb. And he come alive again in that last 15, 20 minutes in that second half. Like, I think these two are the players that actually, if they get on the same wavelength as what we see in that last 10, 15 minutes, I don't want to say we're gonna win it, but I find it very hard to think who can stop us if them two players were on song.
Yeah,
Odegaard's got his mojo back.
I
Goal
think
choice-
Declan Rice become a bit like he is a big game player anyway. But I thought he stood up and was counted just because I think he's been a little
Unbelievable.
he's not what we've seen that he can be in recent, in my opinion. But what I thought yesterday, he proved why he's world class. And anyone who says Declan Rice ain't world class, then they need their eyes tested.
Yeah, when he trapped
Yeah,
back Jacob
yeah,
Murphy,
it was
that was
brilliant.
superb.
I think it's also worth noting, well, for me anyway, if we're going to go on, and you're quite right, I think that they're the ones that we're going to need to get us over the line in the end. But we need our centre backs to be back to their best, because at the moment they're not. I know we got Gabriel scoring a goal yesterday, but we haven't had a game this season where both centre backs have been like proper on it. So we need the Saliba back from last season, get him in and get him sharp again, and get him alongside Gabriel for a sustained amount of games, get the match fitness and get that understanding back. Because at the moment, that's the only area where, personally, I think we just need to make sure that we get these lads up to speed quick.
And if someone can tell me a better,
Luckily, we've got the best fullback in the country.
that's what I was going to say. If someone can tell me a better fullback than him at the minute,
Absolutely amazing.
I don't think at the minute.
It's definitely
What a
not.
beast.
It's definitely not
What a
Reece James, is
signing.
it, Gav? He's injured again, by the way.
Is he injured again? Is he?
He went off injured,
Again.
yeah.
I better get him out my dream team.
Yeah, him and Cole Palmer are currently touching each other up in the bandage table.
Gav, you just worry about getting a point off Liverpool next week, mate. You leave the title chasing stuff.
Yeah,
to
Mate,
me.
you lost to your
Part of the
feeder
bus.
club. So
I think that's game set match, that, isn't it? Really, George just dropped the mic.
Go on, Danny Welbeck. A great weekend for
Definitely.
Arsenal strikers.
That
Go on,
guy.
Danny.
Go
on.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to look.
good
I'm
man.
not even going to go back and look at the penalty debacle, because we all know it's a penalty at the end of the day.
you know what?
Like-
Something that Jay
And a sending off.
Bothroyd said today. I don't know if you guys have seen it, which I didn't even click. He said about the penalty. Obviously, it's a definite penalty. But what also he said is that we were screwed over another time, because if the referee don't think it's a penalty, then why has he not said, "I'll play on," and then Timber would have walked the ball in the net? And I didn't even think of it like that. And then they were saying that his foot was like flat on the ground, and Jay Bothroyd said, "But how can he scientifically? How can his foot be flat on the ground if his studs are on the side?"
I think it's a very interesting one, isn't it? In terms of like what players and ex-referees have come out and said. We know Dermot is basically Howard Webb's mouthpiece. We know he's being briefed. He's definitely being briefed, obviously, either in the morning or the night before, in terms of what's going down. But I thought Jay Bothroyd was actually spot on, if I'm being totally honest, with that one. And he came in some criticism the other week from us. So fair play, because actually, when you start looking at it, the one thing I would raise around what you've just said is then, do PGMOL need to look at, actually, if you're going to blow up for a penalty, you hold up until the second phase of phrase being completed.
Yeah.
Because actually, at that point, Saka had the ball.
Yeah.
And it could have gone off for a corner, to be fair.
Yeah.
So actually, we was punished in probably three ways. The goalkeeper weren't sent off, the penalty wasn't given, and then we didn't have the second phase of play or the corner kick to go with it.
And then they were saying, obviously, you guys visually can see it, but so they were saying about the touch with what Pope done. And then I can't remember, I think it might have been Troy Deeney, which I nearly dropped my phone on because I thought, oh, here we go. But he said, like, what's the difference with the touch? What Saliba got sent off against Brighton against Pedro than that?
There is no difference. It's like the Sanchez one. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Sanchez comes out, he clips the ball first. Now, the rule is, the goalkeeper gets the ball and touches the ball and then follows through. Actually, anywhere else on that pitch, if a centre midfielder had done that, I'm sure that'd be blown up, and that's a free kick.
Yeah.
Now, with the goalkeeper, there's always been a bit of a special allowance, but at the end of the day, it can't be one rule for one and one rule for another. Do you know what I mean? You can't be watching Sanchez getting a red card one week, and next week you're seeing a penalty being overturned and nothing given.
And we know if that was up the other end, Raya straight off and...
Oh, absolutely.
This is the piece that would always frustrate us. This is the piece why I'll keep saying it. Howard Webb, I think at some point needs to step aside because
he changes his own rules, Liam.
Yeah,
like the Saliba against Brighton one. Like if it was similar to, it was Howard Webb that said that was why it was the reason Saliba got sent off. So
even the Saliba one against Bournemouth, for fuck's sake, he's just at the top of our half. He's getting sent off there. Nick Pope, in his fucking goal, clears him out, and it's fine. It's just nonsense.
But it's not going to change. We're going to see stuff happen to win it this week, the week after, the week after that, the week after that.
Probably happen on Saturday.
It is the PGL MOL show. We know that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the guy at the top end made a TV show around him. Like, he can't get any more egotistic than that. Like,
that's true.
But the way I look at it, and this is the bit that I do agree with our supporters, is that we can't rely on sitting in games and trying to win 1-0 because we know a decision is going to go against us. And this is why we do need to have the handbrake off. And this is the reason why we need to go out and basically put teams out of sight. So it doesn't give the likes of the officials the opportunity to be able to influence our games. And this is the problem. This might be my issue over the last year, is that actually when we go to grounds like Nottingham Forest, I'm sorry, not Nottingham. Well, you can add Nottingham Forest on it, to be fair. The Newcastles, the Aston Villas, we go there to try and win 1-0.
Yeah.
But it's always trying to win 1-0. But if a decision goes against you, then you end up losing the game 1-0.
Yeah.
And we've got to be better in ourselves, and we've got to be able to finish our chances. Like, if you have a game like that yesterday again, 9 times out of 10, you win that game 4-0.
Yeah.
3-4, 4-0, 4-1, whatever you want to call it. But we've got to be more clinical and more ruthless. And the sooner we can get Gulchrist in the goals, that will happen. And I'll be honest, I'm quite optimistic that actually where you're going to see Gulchrist come to the fore now is the games that have cost us winning the title over the last 2-3 years.
I think
So the West Ham's at home, the Fulham's away. Funnily enough, they're both games after each other. I think this is where you're going to see Gulchrist now come into his own, and this will be the difference of us when we weren't winning them games to us being able to win them games now.
Yeah, the thing is, he's getting better as well. Every game I'm watching him in, his performance and his influences in the game is getting a lot better. Like like Andy said earlier, his hold-up play was immense yesterday. It reminded me of Giroud, to be honest. I know he probably going to be a better finisher than him, but yeah, you can tell. Anyone who thinks he was going to come in this team and bang in hat tricks in the first few weeks are absolutely just playing FIFA. But he's definitely gelling into this team. He's got to learn how Saka runs off. He's got to learn how whoever's on that left. Eze's got to learn his runs. It takes time. It really does. And what's really good for us supporters, we can see his commitment in games. He does not stop as well. The boy's got a fucking engine on him. And he
got battered yesterday, didn't he?
And he did. He went through it. Yes, I bet he went home. He was sore, definitely. Yeah. But the guy has got a definite heart, and he's got an engine that just keeps on running.
I bet their centre backs went home a bit sore as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say so.
Good.
Do you know what he does though a bit, Andy, as well? I was watching it yesterday. Right, he opens the game up strangely just by the way he kind of plays. When we've had direct share, right, he doesn't look like he's got things under control, but actually what he's doing is just dragging that centre back totally out. And I think that's when you were seeing players like Saka actually coming into the middle more. And I think that they've been told to try and get right up against the Gulchrist, because actually their centre backs are coming out and trying to battle with him. He wins the ball, and you've got like Saka and Eze and the Trossards all coming in 13, playing right up close to him. Like it's going to open up teams, isn't it? And I just felt yesterday that actually he calls them an absolute nightmare in that first 35, 45 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like they knew they were in a game of football, and it's even in the second half, the ball just didn't fall right for him. And I was feeling sorry for him a bit at the back end of the second half, because there was one or two times right where you thought, oh, it's just that little millimetre or centimetre out for him at the moment. But when that comes, I've got no doubt that he's going to bang in a lot of goals. And I'll tell you another thing I'm looking forward to. is when Havertz gets fit and you're like back end of games. Can you imagine if you're trying to put balls into people like him, Marino, and Gorkaris?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, land of the giants off them corners. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot there to kind of look forward to. Obviously going to the game on Wednesday, as I said earlier, I think this is a good moment for players like Saka to hope for. I would try and get Saka at least 75 to 90 minutes, if I'm being totally honest, on Wednesday. I think the guy needs it, and we need him back to where he is now. I don't really want him going to England, if I'm being totally honest. I think they should manage it well, but I can't see that happening because it's Saka, and he will always get picked for England if fit. Is there any other changes you would like to see, John, on Wednesday? See anyone come in? Maybe just to rest legs for the Saturday's game?
Lewis Skelly possibly in for Calafiori. He was good yesterday, but he wasn't as good as he has been, I would say. I mean, Ben White possibly could come in as well. I said it's all about giving, with only Olympiacos at home, shouldn't really be a problem. Being disrespectful, but it should be comfortable. So it would be a good game to try a few things. I reckon Martinelli will probably start. He certainly deserves to. Yeah, I'd be interested. I presume Odegaard will start. I would have thought if he's come on, at least give him an hour. I would have thought he can get his fitness back up. But yeah, there shouldn't be too many. I mean, well, he could well give Kipper a game. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he does because obviously it's the first Champions League game at home. So we won the first one, so we're going to keep winning. So you won't want to make too many changes.
But, no, yeah, I think it's quite interesting now. I think you're right. I think Odegaard will have to come in and get some minutes. Maybe Eze steps out on Wednesday as a bit of a breather. Potentially getting ready for Saturday because I think they'll be key for that. I think you're right, Martinelli. But I think we'll see Martinelli and Saka start on the wings on Wednesday night. I can potentially see Rice even starting on the bench, if I'm being totally honest. Mikel Merino might play in place of him. So I think there might be one or two changes. I'm not against Mikel Merino playing for Rice whatsoever, because I think it will give Rice that breather. And I want him to have a good game against West Ham at the Emirates because I don't think he's had a good game at the Emirates against West Ham, has he?
They took him off last year, didn't they?
Yeah, he's had 2 hours at the Emirates. He's had 2 great ones over their place, but yeah. So I wouldn't do too much, but I think there's a great shouts there on Odegaard, Skelly, definitely, and Martinelli. Just going over to you, George. Is there anyone that you would potentially bring in, or would you kind of go with what kind of John said?
I definitely I think we need a new left winger playing. So I think that'll probably be Martinelli. I wouldn't mind seeing Odegaard come in, playing that 10 role, get him some good minutes, and then for the West Ham game, you just put Eze back there. But I think Skelly probably. I know some people said, "Oh, he hasn't really played that much," but to be fair, I think having Calafiori fit has been a bit of a bonus for us recently. So. I don't know. I similar to what you said, Liam. I could see Rice dropping out. I don't think they'll do too much because obviously we've been burnt in the past by Olympiacos.
Yeah.
I don't like Olympiacos. They gave me COVID the first time actually. So.
I don't know. George spat my drink everywhere.
Didn't the owner have COVID?
What did he kiss them all?
No, it was the game to know that when it all kind of broke out, and that I was at that game. So
the owner had it, like you said.
The owner had it, didn't he?
I think we could see changes like that. I wouldn't even be surprised if Ethan Mounieri got some minutes because obviously he wasn't involved, was he, at the weekend? And but. I'm not saying he'll start or nothing, but I can see him maybe come on for Saka after about 75, 80 minutes. I think ultimately we just need to get the job done. So if we can get a couple of goals or 2-3 goal lead early on, then Arteta can be flexible with who gets minutes.
Definitely.
I think it'd be nice to be able to get the game done early. I don't think we can underestimate Olympiacos.
No.
Obviously, got good European pedigree, haven't they? And even though I'm
Yeah.
quite confident and comfortable that we will beat them, we just need to be professional about performance,
I
don't
think
we, Andy?
Jokeres will grab a couple of goals, so that'll do him some good.
Yeah, that would be a big boost. I think.
I think they'll play into the way Olympiacos defend from the game. On the highlights, I watched what they first played, and from last season, they'll Victor Jokeres will just completely get behind their defence and what I did like on Sunday, so that's kind of what I wanted to see Eze playing. I did like that sort of triangle with Eze, Saka, and Jokeres.
Yeah, it's that's something that's going to be interesting to watch moving forwards. Andy, just going to go to you. Looking at the opposition a little bit, it should be a victory Wednesday, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Any concerns or complacency?
Well, hopefully not. But I mean, it is important to remember that it is Champions League, and the teams that are there on merit. And let's not forget, for Olympiacos, this will almost be their Champions League final. They'll fill their end. You know, half of North London's Greek, so they'll have no issues with travelling supporters. So
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I think I think it's important not to underestimate, but I'd like to think that we're more professional than that now, and hopefully just go a nice, comfortable win. And as you say, get some minutes into some certain players. And again, what you said as well is so true, is to try and get Saka back, because since that hamstring injury, he hasn't quite got back to where he needs to be. And I appreciate he's probably not 100% up to match fitness yet, but we need that though, because we need him assisting and scoring goals again. I thought he did okay yesterday, especially first half. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good night. It'll be a good night. It'll be good, but we just got to be careful. But I can't see anything but a comfortable win, I'll be honest.
I think it's quite interesting, isn't it, when you've kind of just refreshed me with something there, that actually, like, these first 6 games that we've played in the Premier League, when we start looking at Saka's been out, Odegaard's been out, Saliba's been out, Havertz has been out, Gabriel Jesus is out.
Rice was out, wasn't he? A couple of games in and out.
Ben White. It's interesting that actually, when you start thinking about the squad that we've got, but also the players that we have been missing, and we've obviously navigated ourselves through this fixture list, that actually we still got these players to come back into the squad. And you're looking at potentially after the international break, Havertz will be much closer. I don't know exactly what will happen with Jesus, whether he'll come back in the fold or not. That's going to be an interesting one to see. I still think personally he could have something to offer, but I think it's going to be more about, does that Arteta see him as part of the squad longer term or not? But we've navigated this with the injuries pretty well, haven't we? All in all, like, it could be much worse. Like, as I'm saying again, if another team had lost like 3 or 4 players of that level, I'm not sure that they would be able to navigate through themselves through this fixture list like we have. And that's probably including Liverpool, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
Definitely. No.
Yeah, it just goes back to what we said about the squad. It is a phenomenal squad at the moment, and massive pat on the back to Mr. Burt there to have the summer that he did. And we've been praying for a squad like this for years now. And you know, when you look at our bench now compared to when we looked at our bench last season, there's still belief in everybody that's on the bench as well, and that's a fantastic place to be. And even more so, as you quite rightly mentioned, with the injuries that we've already had and we're still dealing with, yet we're still grinding out results. We're still getting there. We're getting better. So yeah, everything bodes well.
Before you know it, it'll be January again, and then we probably bring a couple more. Because I know people say we might not, but I just don't think Berta's that. He doesn't seem like that sort of person to sit still. Like, I think if there's players out there that, even if they're younger players up and coming that are there, why not? I still think we look at a left winger. Like, and I think the Morgan Rogers talk. I wouldn't be surprised, because you don't know where Villa are going to be. I know they won yesterday, didn't they, for the first time in about 200 games or something. But Watkins worked out how to shoot again. But I think
he doesn't look very happy at the moment.
No, but I just think someone like a Morgan Rogers, if you put a cheeky bid in January, could money talk? I don't know.
Big goal at Everton, 1-1 now. Jared
Yeah,
Bowen.
it just flashed out on my phone.
Great strike.
Yeah, just touching on the squad, one player I would probably like to see on Wednesday would be Mosquera, just to get that little mistake he had against Newcastle, just to give him that bit of confidence back, because he's had a fantastic start with us in the club, and I feel
Hincapie as well. Is he?
Yeah, he got hooked, didn't he? At half time for Saliba to come on, and I just feel for a player, Andy will know, to get something out of your system will be to play another game. That I'd like to see
You
him.
don't need to risk Saliba if he's not fully fit.
Yeah,
do you,
go
let's
with
be honest.
No, not in this game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we were moaning that Arteta had done that before with Saka again. I can't remember who the team. What was it? French team the other year. So we've got the squad now. Like you could see Mosquera play instead of Saliba, and then you have 100% fit William Saliba against West Ham.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you might see Gabriel move aside and put Saliba and Mosquera in for Wednesday.
Yeah.
There's so many options available now.
Or that what's his name? Hincapie.
Hincapie,
Yeah,
is he injured or is he fit? He
No,
won on the
yeah.
bench.
Has he played for us yet?
He's played about 2 minutes, isn't he?
Oh, okay.
But this is the interesting thing. This is my argument last year. I remember having a few voicemail messages around this one, that actually last year, especially when we got into January, he didn't rotate anyone at all. And when we had that horrible January window, we was going to Girona and still playing Gabriel. Do you know what I mean? And this is where actually now you don't need to play Gabriel and Saliba in these games. Like, you've got this guy who's come in, right, who can fully rotate, and he is good enough that he's had a bad mistake yesterday when passing that ball back. But apart from that, there isn't been much wrong in his game whatsoever. And I'll agree with you, Jonesy. It's about getting out of his system, playing a game of football straight after. But this is what Arteta didn't have last year, which he's got no excuse this year. Actually, he's got 5 centre backs when everyone's fit. He's got 6. He's got Ben White, he's got Saliba, he's got Mosquera, he's got Hincapie, he's got Gabriel, and he's got Calafiori. Yeah. Right? He's got 6 centre backs. Now, rotate them as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, always keep one in, but you don't need to play Gabriel and Saliba in every game. Now, especially, I'm sorry, but Champions League at home with the squad we've got, like against the majority of teams, take out your Madrids, your Munichs, you should be able to get away with that. Do you know what I mean? Give these guys a breather, because actually what it'll do at the back end of the season is keep these players fresh, and hopefully we'll keep them fresh and we won't have the injuries that we had last year. And we'll be in a much better situation. But I felt last year Arteta didn't help himself, because he did have Kivior there, and he only played Kivior right at the end when he had to, when he had no one. But he didn't, prior to that, have trust in Kivior to play him in front of Gabriel in any game.
I think we like that with Calafiori as well, like, because I think they should remember his injury record, so like just be a bit careful with him.
And I've been corrected, rightly so, Sumin. Timber, that's 7 centre backs.
Yeah,
7 players who can play centre back in that squad. It's absolutely immense in terms of the options that he's got there. So I think these are the games where actually he does pull one out and pull one in. And I think where Saliba only played 45 and Mosquera only played 45, I think it makes sense to play them together again on Wednesday and keep Gabriel on the bench. And if he needs to bring him on, he brings him on. If he doesn't, there's your breather, mate. You'll be back on Saturday. So we are looking at Saturday's game now. Looks like West Ham under the Nuno era. Could be getting off to a decent start. I wouldn't mind a little Everton second goal though. That would sort me out proper. In the old Jonesy's predictions. I'm keeping an eye on that one, mate. I'm keeping an eye on that one. But obviously Saturday's game against West Ham, this is another one, isn't it? How this is a hoodoo, I'll never know. How we lost to West Ham 2 years in a row when we've beaten them by 5-6 goals at their place is just absolutely crackers. I don't agree with people saying that actually it's one of these with demons that we need to put to bed. I just think that actually when I look at our squad now to any other squad and going into these games at the Emirates, we like Man City's potentially a little bit different than Liverpool. But apart from that, I look at teams like West Ham. I'm sorry, we shouldn't be dropping points now to this team.
No way.
Not at all.
But,
Not at all.
we only lost
Sadly.
on last year because we were threadbare. We had so many players missing last year, injuries, everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, the sending off as well. So you could kind of see it coming, but there is no excuses this time round. I know we've got a few people missing, but yeah.
I just don't see West Ham anywhere near our level. Do you know what I mean? And it would be an absolute shock if it happened a third year in a row. If it does, then the eyes are coming out again. But I just think that the squad's there, and I think West Ham are in a transition now with a new manager and all that. If they get this result, it'll be a good confidence boost. But actually, I think us them playing Everton to playing us is going to be chalk and cheese, especially where we are at the moment and the confidence we've got. I think we're pretty much seeing probably the same kind of team as Saturday. Maybe Odegaard might come in and Eze might go out to the left. But I think that will all depend on how Odegaard performs on Wednesday and hopefully kind of get some decent minutes under his belt. Going to go to you first on this, Andy. Do you see any other changes to the team on Sunday?
No, I don't think so. I think Saliba will come in, I think, at centre-back. But I can't really see much more changing, if I'm honest. Because let's be, we took Newcastle apart in their own backyard, and teams don't do that.
Yeah.
You can't underestimate the performance we put in there yesterday. And I know we're over the moon because we got these 2 late goals, but the performance across the game was spot on. We were right on it. But for their goalkeeper, it would have been a much more comfortable outcome. But so I can't see there being many changes. I'll be honest. No.
Going over to you, Jonesy. Do you think Odegaard will start that game?
I think he will. Yeah, I do think he's the captain of the club. He needs to come back in the squad.
So who comes out then?
I think Eze. I think Eze goes to the left, to be honest. And then obviously Trossard or Martinelli won't start. But that's not to say Eze can't cut in and join the attack in the middle. But I want to see Eze and Odegaard in the same team. I really do, and I don't know how it works. Does it work with Eze from the left? Because it makes me go to bed a happy boy when I see them 2 boys in the same team. You know what I mean? And I like good night's sleep, so I'm long for it. But yeah, I want to see them both playing. If it means Eze coming off from the left, then so be it. But then it harms his game a bit. It's such a catch-22 thing. But I just think as captain of the club, he's got to come back in at some time. And it's the perfect opportunity with a team like West Ham. And I am going to be disrespectful. They're dog shit. We should be battering them. And it's the perfect game for him to get some assists, get his numbers up, and possibly a long-needed goal that I think Odegaard needs for us.
Relegation. You know what, Jonesy, interestingly enough,
they've actually
played really well tonight,
Yeah, I've just seen that. As I said that, the BBC thing is like they're in control. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time Liam talks, I watch the match just to do something interesting. So they played all right, to be honest. Yeah, they have.
They'll be dog shit against us.
How long's left?
Just kidding, Liam. Just kidding.
1 minute.
The show or the
1
game?
minute ago, is it? Okay. Yeah, Bowen's the only good player, not being funny.
Yeah, it's still going down, mate.
He's got quite a good record against us, but yeah, keep him fairly quiet. That's what we should be battering, as Jonesy said. And they're due one, let's be honest. We smashed them enough times at their place. So yeah, they're due a battering at ours. So bring it on Saturday.
I just think a team that consists of Eze, Odegaard, Saka. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest, that's what we wanted, you know what I mean? And it's about Odegaard coming in now and just regaining his form. And the challenge is now that he gets back to the player he was 2 years ago. Because if he doesn't, then for me, it's not just a conversation about his position place. It then has to be a conversation about the captaincy, because you can't have the captain sitting on the bench all the time. So, but what I see yesterday, I see a different him, and maybe having this bit of time out has kind of helped him out a little bit. And he's seeing that the team are doing well as well. So it's got to be quite appeasing that actually coming back in, that happens against Newcastle. He gets good minutes under his belt on Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll start getting the other guard.
And he knows he's got to start playing as well.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
Mate, in that 2022-23 season when he played, he was unbelievable at times. Like some of the streets forget that, but I don't forget it. Like, I watched him live and I was like, wow. Do you know what I mean? So the capability is there. It's just about now consistency. But I think with the consistency, the team needs to be consistently the same now. And this is what the team hasn't been for a long time. We need the same team in week out, week in, week out. So, and if we get that, then the rhythm of all these players will be a mojo, won't it, together? And hopefully they can move on and compete at the very top end. I'm going to go for some score predictions for the first game tomorrow on Wednesday. I'm going to go for 3-0.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. I'm going to go for a 3-0. I think Goldcrest will get a couple. I'm going to go Goldcrest 2 and Saka.
Beautiful.
I'll go.
You going for John?
I'm sorry. Well, because it's my 8-year wedding anniversary on Wednesday, I'm going to say 8-0. Let's celebrate a star.
I'm the same as you, Liam. As soon as you asked me predictions, that was the first score that came to my head. So I'll go 3-0 as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4.
Josie.
I can see Gorka getting a hat trick. And
Nice.
Saka with the other one.
Oh,
Nice.
and
5-0.
Georgie boy.
Yoko's hat trick, Saka, and just because we all know how much I rate him, Trossard. Whenever I say shit, he scores. So
Yeah, go on.
I wouldn't say anything.
emergency loan.
Super red.
And going into the West Ham game Saturday, don't I give my predictions away so soon? So I'm going to exclude this. I'm just going to let you three chaps have the predictions, and me and Jonesy will go later in the week.
I'll go 5-0. Fuck it. Let's give him a good smash in. Well, let's have a goal fest this week. Come on.
I'm going to go back-to-back 3-0s.
Oh, nice.
7-0.
And George?
Just
because
because
I'll go 7-0.
I go 7-0 because obviously we all know they're getting relegated, like I called at the start of the season. If it comes in, mate, I'm putting that on my bio, mate. I'm going to take West Ham Central in it.
I actually think they've made a good appointment, to be fair.
I think actually we'll put on a show. That's I'm going 7-0. Yoko's hat trick. Declan Rice at the double. Let's go.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Especially if we bend another free kick in.
I'm going to be gutted if it goes to 6.
George, can I just say, I think you've done amazing tonight because you're clearly sat in an earthquake because your room keeps moving around. You've done amazing. Such a professional job.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's being near Peterborough. It's like when the electric moves, you have to start holding on. It's like Angry Kid.
And just looking at a quick one, obviously another massive game this weekend, Chelsea-Liverpool. That's a big game. Can Chelsea get anything out of that game?
They don't get a red card.
I don't really know what to think.
Just because they're lucky again, Liverpool are, though. Cole Palmer being out injured, their best player. Again, Liverpool get the luck. It's just little things like that piss me off. I mean, Chelsea got a chance, but yeah, like I said, they were playing all right against Brighton before they're sending off. And that really, stupid did change the game because they were playing well.
I mean,
obviously, Brighton did very well and took them apart. But yeah, I mean, yeah. It'll be interesting because Liverpool now need to go there and win. Because the marker we put and say we do obviously beat West Ham, we'll be top by the time they play.
In the
and then the pressure is on them. Then we really see how well
over the international break as well.
So
Don't you're tempting me. The parrot might come down.
He's in the cupboard, yeah.
Get
What was
the
I gonna
perch
say?
out.
It's a massive week for Chelsea, you know, because obviously they got Benfica, Mourinho's back at the bridge,
Yes.
and
I
then
didn't even know
obviously
Mourinho was there. Bloody hell, I missed that.
Yeah, he's just doing his European tour, isn't he? No one wants him.
knowing Chelsea, we could come out the international break and they got a brand new manager.
What, Mourinho?
Yeah, if they lose, the
Well,
next
you
couple
never
of
know,
Chelsea-
yeah. You never know what Chelsea will bring him.
Well, I'm
but yeah,
sure
he's
didn't
got-
Gav earlier put that he wanted Enzo out, or was he?
he wants him
joking?
out. Yeah. He's won him 2 trophies, but yeah, he
I've got
wants
a few Chelsea fans at work have had enough of him.
Oh, he's already coming on here. Don't count on it. We're shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Chelsea fans more than a win they do. I tell you,
Mm.
I'm going to start calling Gav Hurricane.
There's a Gav coming through.
Gav's, oh Jesus! Chelsea 0, Liverpool 4. We have no centre backs available as well.
You got about 100 in the squad.
Yeah.
Well, they're out on loan.
You have got someone.
Yeah, all
you
them
ha-
back
That's
from
a good
Holland,
point,
wherever they
Gav.
are. They got
Yeah.
some
I was
from
going to say they have got someone called Disassi, the one that they don't allow near the premises
It's that
anymore.
lad they signed from Ajax at Hatto. He's got to be there somewhere, hasn't he?
For disaster or whatever his name is, he ain't been allowed to play for
Raheem
ages.
Sterling at the back. He ain't played yet. He must be fresh. Can't be worse there than he was in the wing for us.
Full time
Oh,
1-1 there.
1-1, yeah. So 1-1.
Stop Bowen, we'll win. Simple as. They won't be able to stop us. That's the thing.
But a bad week for Smuggo.
Yeah,
Any old
same
predictions?
Another week done. 3-3 now.
3-3.
Jonesy
Come back
on the
in,
mark.
come back is complete.
Yeah. That's it. I'll definitely lose this week now.
Hopefully. Right. Anyway, obviously, thank you very much, chaps, for another interesting show. Discussing all things Arsenal. Always better when you win, isn't it? Especially in the last minute.
Yeah, we didn't lose our head at all.
You're not rubbing me. Nah, we never lost our head. By the way, I had the biggest meltdown yesterday ever.
I don't know how many
don't worry
times
about
you
that,
said
we won.
yes. No, I thought you turned into Daniel Bryan. So when the goal went it,
Mate, when we
yeah,
scored,
so,
mate,
like when I
was Daniel
listened back,
Bryan,
all I
tell
heard
you.
is going yes. I thought it was the yes movement.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got for you guys. I've got a little treat here. So let's just have a little watch back of the winning goal on the stream yesterday. I will say, excuse George's swearing at the start of it.
But I don't care who at this point. Get your
I don't
fucking
give a
head
fuck if it's David Ray's arse or something, mate.
out. Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say something else, but
You know, you know you're doing well if George is trying to keep it PG as possible. Al Pope's
Come on!
Where
Get
are you
in
now,
there.
you fucking idiot?
Yes!
Maybe
Liam, can you play that clip and mute it? You just look like a child having a tantrum. Honestly.
mate, if you watch the 30 minutes before that,
You were talking about Luis Enrique and everything.
Good manager, Enrique, mate.
You did make me laugh when you said, "Yeah, let's hold up on the Enrique talk."
Yeah, we'll give Arteta a few more weeks. But yeah, that was the moment, and that was the Daniel Bryan. I don't know where the Daniel Bryan piece come out of me from. I don't know. Wow. But yeah, so obviously, thank you very much, gentlemen. Brooksy, thank you very much again.
Absolutely.
Never
not.
sure. Mr. Mock,
Thank you very much, and hope you guys enjoy the games this week, you lucky buggers.
I'm not.
None of us are there. I don't care.
No, the Liam curse.
See, it's crap for us Northerners. I'm stuck in the Northeast. A 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday is the worst thing ever. Can't watch the match. It's fucking horrible. So you guys just go and enjoy it and don't think of poor old me sat up here in the northeast, freezing me bollocks off. Look at watching.
Well, I don't want to scare you, but the last 7 Premier League, our last 8 Premier
Don't
League
say
games,
it.
I've been to, we've lost
Industry.
we've lost 6, drawn 1, and won 1.
So it's all Liam's fault if we lose, everybody.
Yeah.
And the last 2 that were, well, West Ham, I haven't been
Everyone
to.
blaming
It's the third
Arteta.
season in a row
It
I've
should
not
be
been to a West
Liam,
Ham
like,
game.
if you don't go to the West
Yeah,
Ham game.
Liam out.
Yeah. Andy can see.
Oh, I'll take it anytime, man. Yeah,
We need to get you up there
I'd
this
love
year.
to come up and meet you
Down
guys
there.
before the match and whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. We'll
Yeah.
get that sorted. Mr. Jones, congratulations firstly on your
Cheers, mate.
win
Thank
this
you very
week.
much. I'm going to
Well
play.
done, Jonesy.
Cheers, thank you. I'm going to play FIFA now, and I'm going to sack Arteta and replace him with Ted Lasso because apparently anybody could be the manager of Arsenal. So I'll do that.
Emmanuel.
Nice, Jonesy. Ruthless.
Sexy.
I love that.
And Mr. George, thanks
Cheers,
for
mate.
coming on, mate.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me come on and stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And obviously, thanks very much everyone in the chat once again. All your comments have been greatly appreciated. So yeah, a massive win yesterday. We're back in the title race. Hopefully by the end of this weekend, you might see the parrot out and about. Good night.